And welcome live to Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. Tonight we've got our first men's soccer match of the season, and it's between the Hornets of University of Lynchburg and the Maroons of Roanoke College. I'm Joe Hutzler, joined by Coach Matt Newton of women's soccer here tonight inside the booth. Happy to have Coach Newton along for the ride, and probably good for you to get out of the house a little bit and experience something else other than women's soccer for a little while as well, so change of scenery for you. And before we get to the starters and the start of the game, let's look at the two teams' comparison. So far this year, just one game for Lynchburg, two matches for Roanoke, and there are your numbers. The Hornets outdoing the Maroons in most categories to this juncture of the season, but still early, Coach. Hard to really factor in what's happened so far. Not a whole lot of a sample size either.
Yeah, so you're excited to get into games like this where Roanoke's been into some tight matches, and so now we can see if Lynchburg's potent attack, how they're going to break down this team and put balls in the back of the net. Roanoke
a 0-2 record on the year. They tied both of their matches so far versus two ODAC opponents, Bridgewater and Washington and Lee, and both of those were were home matches. So here tonight is their first trip on the road. The Hornets have only been on the road. They were at Eastern Mennonite on the 23rd with a 6-0 win over the Royals, and look to get their first win over the Maroons since I wrote it down on my sheet. Well, I thought I wrote it down on my sheet. It's been 2 years since the Hornets took care of the Maroons. They tied in the match on the road in 2019, and then they lost the season opener here 4-1 in 2019. So you got to go back to 2018 for the last win for Lynchburg over Roanoke. And we are underway from Schellenberger Field, the Hornets and the Maroons, the battle of 460. And a big battle in the early part of the season, and also, Coach, for the whole season, because you don't have as many games. I mean, you're looking at, I think, 10 total games for the year. Yeah, and every game's so important right now just to get into the ODAC tournament. When it's kind of limited like it is, you want to really try to control your own destiny. And so winning every game or getting every point you can is really important. Right there on your screen, that is Chris Gerald, a junior out of Fairfield, Connecticut. And we get our first whistle and a foul on the far side of the field. Jake, can you tilt up, please? Tilt up, please. Thank you. And first chance for the Hornets to have some good field position inside their offensive third. Of course, it is, again, we're going off of one game, but right now they're looking at a season shot on goal percentage of 43%. So they're making them count when they get in close. Yeah, and for Lynchburg, you got, Luke Mega over here kind of towards our side, Joe, and that's a player that, Roanoke's going to have to account for. Mega with 2 goals in the season opener. ODAC Rookie of the Year in 2019. A stellar freshman season for him. Yeah, and that's pretty amazing. It's tough as a freshman to really, get a feel for the game at the next level. And so to be able to do what he did is pretty awesome. And again, the Maroons having the whistle give it to the Hornets. That was Gabriel Hendy involved in that action. This is number 10 for Lynchburg, Ben Mackey. Looking forward and chipping it ahead, too far for Joey Daly. Yeah, and it's going to be tough. Those type of balls are going to be tough in this game when you've got Roanoke playing what looks like a 4-2-3-1. So you've got to be able to move the ball around to kind of break down
just such a block in the middle.
Zach Behe, your keeper for the Maroons. Kyle Gallagher in between the pipes for the Hornets. This is Seth Dale. And a whistle on the contact that put Dylan Burke on the turf. There's one of those freshmen for the Hornets, Monzi Shalita, freshman out of Fairfax, Virginia. They're pretty high on his skill set. And certainly, we just talked about Luke Mega. This program seems to have pretty good success with freshmen who they consider to be high in the skill set area. And Shalita will try to live up to that hype. Gerald looking to throw it in. And Mackey heads it back out to the 18. Shalita with the clear. The one thing we miss from being on this side of the pitch is the bench chatter. It's much more quiet over here than it actually is on the other side as Gallagher comes out and punches that chance away. And now the Hornets will rush it back. Here's Mega through the middle. Pressure coming from Tiernan Armstrong.
Although you might hear me yell a little bit more being across from me.
This is very true. Be careful though. We're in an enclosed space now, so we don't want to hurt the students' ears that are putting on this broadcast tonight. The second of 16 games in 5 days here on campus between all the teams in action, and all of those games can be found here on LHSN. Well, with the exception of men's lacrosse, they're on the LAC Sports Network.
That's a lot of games to call.
Well, fortunately, I'm not calling all of those, but I'm going to do my best to call as many of them, and more importantly, especially for those that can't make it to the venue, we will have a feed for them to watch and stay in tune with what's going on.
Well, the feed here is awesome. I mean, I pull it up on my Apple TV and watch it just sitting on the couch and love it. And it's just quality, perfect picture HD.
Don't have to pay extra for the HD.
Don't have to pay extra, so it's fantastic.
The Maroons rushing heavily here, trying to take advantage. Lynchburg having a bit of trouble on the back line, getting that ball clear. Carter Averett over to Josh Auger, another freshman getting a start tonight. Auger sends it deep, and Maroons will try to make a good play in the midfield.
Really pretty even in these first, 7-ish minutes so far, playing kind of in the middle third.
And is that to be expected? I mean, you haven't played in so long, over 400 days since Lynchburg's been here at home, and certainly just about that long since they played Roanoke. So can you expect the first 10 minutes to be more of a feeling out period?
I think so, and you expect a lot of nerves. I know for us, we expect teams to be kind of crazy almost, just going wild. And right now it's been, we've had a few fouls, but it's been pretty controlled, and it's kind of stayed, again, just sort of in this middle third. When it gets back here in the defensive third, just sort of being able to possess out so far.
Opportunity. Shalita sent it for Daly. Daly leads one ahead for Mega. Let it go through. Now we'll cross it through the middle. Lays there nicely, and a big save from Behe on that chance from Kenny Robles.
That was a great turn. by Mega just to let the ball go through, because the temptation is to take a touch into the corner. But if you can keep it straight like that, then you can get a dangerous cross-off.
Wise play by a young player who's always confident in his abilities, and almost paid off for another sophomore, Kenny Robles. Here's Nick Foley, one of the captains, along with Ben Mackey, on the Hornets roster. Auger having to show some sweet feet for a defenseman.
Yeah, that was some pretty good possession there for them. And, you know, as they try to draw Roanoke out to create more space, ideally they can get the ball back into the middle and then start hitting it forward.
Good ball through. Shalita picks it up there. Down the near sideline for us. Cuts it back in the middle, looking for Mega. Good turn. Excellent foot skills from Mega as usual. Now it's Daly. Long pass into the box. Player goes down. And the ball stays in. Awfully close to the end line. Good work by all. As now that we're 10 minutes in, you can feel it. Things are starting to pick up a little bit.
Settling in.
Daly picks it up again for the Hornets. Once again, a crosser. Robles plays it back, and that one just left for Ben Mackey. What a way that would have been to start his senior campaign at home.
Yeah, that would have been an amazing goal. And in fact, I thought the cross was going to go right to him. I thought we were going to see a full volley for a goal, which would have been unbelievable.
Ben Mackey, the younger brother of John, who graduated a few years ago. Mackey also had a goal in that game versus the Royals. Multiple-time All-ODAC performer in his career. Been playing since he was a freshman.
Yeah, I really like Ben Mackey, and really like seeing him in the attack. You know, he'd been playing kind of holding mid for, you know, at least last year. I don't know about the year before, but you know, obviously a very skilled player, someone you want to have the ball at their feet.
Once again, the Hornets trying to chip it in to the box, and they can sense that they got the momentum, so why not keep going after it? Robles, and that's booted away by Vincent Lamina. Yeah, you mentioned Ben Mackey's presence in the midfield, just a steady presence. You just feel, as a teammate, you feel more confident having number 10 out there on the pitch with you.
Absolutely, he can really control the game, and you know, having him more forward up the field really control the attack.
12 goals in his career too, by the way. So he can, when he has the moment, has a chance, he can put him away.
That's awesome.
Joey Daly controls it in front of us. Now it's Foley. Long ball. Pressure on coming, and eventually kicked out by Armstrong. Got to watch those hands. Michael Chang rolled that wrist back so he didn't get a handball call. And there's a whistle on that tackle attempt from Armstrong.
That was close. It's right in front of us. I thought we were going to get nailed.
Well, let's be real.
I was ducking already.
Let's be honest. They would get nailed if they came over to us.
Yeah.
In the little shed that we're working in. But yeah, windows are open, so got to keep your hands ready, at the ready. A little easier to see it coming than a lacrosse ball, though.
Yeah, so I don't know how you do that. Yeah.
Hasn't been a problem yet. Last night, a couple of volleyballs came our way, so we had to push those aside because usually we're not on the court. And then a couple weeks ago, your boy Joe here had a nice foul ball at softball scoop with the mic on.
Nice.
It was really nice.
Did you get that on the action cam?
I didn't, no. But you could hear it on the call, on the broadcast. I went quiet real quick, and my mic fell off, so... You knew something happened.
Yeah.
Something happened. Mark Robertson was there, too. He could back it up.
That's awesome.
He could back it up. And here's a goal kick for the Hornets.
You know, it does seem like this ref is not he's not letting a lot go.
Yeah.
And so that's something that you have to take into account when you're playing. You know, you've got to be pretty clean. Otherwise, you know, it's going to cause you problems. But the one thing about that is it's consistent so far. If he was it's when it's inconsistent that it's a problem.
Well, that's what I was saying even on Sunday when you all played. Just in general, soccer-wise, it feels like when I'm calling a game, the first half is a little more let things go, and then they start to get tight. And that's got to be tough because you're thinking you can get away with it, and now all of a sudden in the second half you can't. So kudos so far to the head official for being consistent on these calls.
Yeah.
Seth Dale, and quickly headed out. No substitutions yet. 31-10 remaining in the first half of play. The Hornets have 3 shots, and the Maroons looking for their first. Behe does have a very nice save to his credit at this point.
He does. That was a good save.
Behe already tested 6 times, which he's made saves this season. 5 in those first 2 games. '28th meeting between these two schools since 1999. Of course, the records certainly go back further than that, but that's what we have access to on the fly. Maroons leading the series 14-7 in those previous 27 meetings. Bailey inside, rolls back near the 18 and cleared away. Now it's Mackey. Brings 2 defenders along. Shalita gives it up for Robles. Chipping in for Mega. Just to not get it cleanly that time. Now it's the Maroons. A bit of a transition. Push back the other way.
Yeah, and that was tough because they didn't have enough numbers forward to really create much.
Carmen, right where he typically has been, is a guy that we're used to seeing Joe Carmen play defense for the Maroons if you've watched this matchup over the last 4 years. And he's been involved heavily tonight for Roanoke, Blacksburg native. And you can't miss him either with the red hair. That helps.
So now you're seeing Roanoke obviously doing sort of a kind of a low block, low press, letting the ball come forward a little bit, and then getting it to where they want it to defend. You know, getting it wide, wanting it to go wide. But it's still not quite compressed. There's still some space for Lynchburg to play into.
Foley getting it started. It's a pretty big role for Nick Foley. Did play in 16 games in that 2019 campaign. Started 9 of those and also had an assist to his credit. This ball finds the feet of Camilleri. And just too strong. Camilleri for the Maroons. The only Maroon with a goal this year. course, that came in their 1-1 tie against the Generals of Washington and Lee. 7 shots, 4 on goal as well for the junior out of Cary, North Carolina. One of those frequented cities in North Carolina for soccer. We see that city a lot on rosters in this area. Mackey sends it down the near touchline. Close to the end line, it's Joe Daly. Daly finds space. Carmen sends it back where it came from, and there'll be a throw from there. Still no one making substitutions yet, although there are some players warming up. Tossed in, looking for Kearns. And this is going to come back to Mackey. They'll start here. Bailey Kearns, double teamed. Left outside here, Chang picks it up. Shalita looking back and decides to send it back to the keeper. And interesting, we talk about the low amount of games on the schedule, official games that is. Lynchburg has actually played a couple more than just that one against Eastern Mennonite. They just didn't count towards the overall record. They had an exhibition here against Randolph, and they also went to Hampton-Sydney for an exhibition match since the EMU game. So this is not their first time. We'll see if it pays off. Some of that chemistry they've been building. Pressure building, but no one there to clean it up for Mega. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Maroons.
Yeah, and that was a great opportunity. I mean, you had Luke Mega 1v1 in the corner here where he has the ability to just get right by people. And so, you know, hopefully you have runners in those areas to put that ball away. Kind of looked like a shot, but still.
Yeah. Well, and it's, I mean,
still want to be there.
If I'm being honest, that's tough for me to tell if it's a shot or a pass from where we are.
Where we are is hard.
I miss the days of being up top.
I know, and I'm looking out, and then I'm trying not to look too far out so you can look out.
Right. We're both looking out the window like we're in New York City, and like somebody's yelling down there. What's going on? What's happening outside? Just temporary. We will be back above Schellenberger Field in April, as the Maroons look for sustained pressure in their offensive third for the first time. A good tussle between Chang and Daly, and the whistle will give it back to the Hornets. But a new video board on its way to Schellenberger Field. Shouldn't even say new, it's the first time. It's the debut of a video board, as we were having a chance build up here for Roanoke. Camilleri's shot sent away by Shalita. But that's coming in April, and the equipment to operate that will be in a brand new press box, an enclosed area for LHSN and other features on the digital media side. So very excited about that in just 1 month's time.
It's going to be awesome.
It'll change so much about already a great atmosphere place, but throw in the largest Division III video board east of the Mississippi. It's going to be bright in here. Long toss. Headed out by Averett. Good hops by 22 and Gray. And then Shalita not able to keep it in play.
That was an interesting throw. They're trying to hit one player and they're using the other guy to block everyone else, like almost like a basketball play.
Armstrong with the toss in again. Here's the crosser. Good look. Gallagher sends it over top. What a stop from Kyle Gallagher, the senior out of Haymarket, getting tested for the first time this season and making it on the highlight reel.
Yes, that is absolutely going on the highlight reel. What an amazing reaction save to parry that over while diving.
We're going to cue that back up for you, by the way. Don't worry. We got time. It's soccer. We got time. We'll show you that replay again. But we got a corner kick here for the Maroons to pay attention to. First one of the day, and headed away by Auger. Dylan Burke still involved. And now, pressure on the defense.
Lynchburg's starting to get numbers forward, so.
Mega just gliding through the middle of the field, leaves it here for Mackey. He'll chip one high, and it will stay in play. Back here for Kearns, pushing one that Behe stops. Both of these keepers are on point so far.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity, and then a good save. I mean, it's tough when it's that close to get your hand on a lot of stuff.
So Behe with 2 saves, Gallagher with 1. And I do want to make a correction. I said it was Gallagher's first save of the season. It was his second of the season. He was tested once by the Royals. Back and forth. Now that we've gone 25 minutes in the first half. Each team exchanging blows. But neither able to get past the men between the pipes yet.
Yeah, Roanoke getting a little momentum here in the last couple minutes. Something they hadn't totally had, I don't think, so far.
It seemed like it was sputtering. It would get somewhere, and then it would quickly, Lynchburg would take possession again. Tattagui had it deflected out, so it's going to be, well, it's going to be Lynchburg ball. Foley decides to hesitate. Now chested down from Auger. Averett with intense pressure, and the tackle by Foley is going to make contact in a way that will be stopping the clock and pulling a card out for Nick Foley.
Yeah, it's sort of strange. I feel like some of the calls that were made early on aren't quite getting called. You know, they were sort of all on the back of a Lynchburg player, and then, you know, so we're seeing some complaints for that to where it turned into this. However, Roanoke did a good job of pressing on a pressing cue.
Had a chance.
It was a little bit of a tough ball to an outside back, and they went.
Let's look at it one more time. Oh, that's the end of the play. Oh, there we go. So let's roll it back if we can. Slow it down next time so the expert next to me can look at it.
Came in late.
Yeah, definitely came in late.
Sorry.
Let's try it again. Here you go, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a foul right there. Yep. I think just the initial play, it looked a little handsy, I thought.
Yes.
Where a foul would have been called just before that.
It's a free kick. Chris Gerald lining up, as well as Michael Chang. See who takes it. Try to put some pressure on Gallagher once again. Mega, Mackey, Shalita, Kearns, that's your front line for Lynchburg. And way high. Would have been good on the gridiron for Chang. And we do get our first substitutions of the night. Saeed Osman is going to come in for the first time ever in his Hornet career. And looks like we're also going to get our first look for the Maroons of, looks like, number 8, Till Flegging. Flegging out of Düsseldorf, Germany, by the way. Freshman from the Bundesliga country. And a great turnover option for the Maroons. Gallagher makes another stop. Here he comes out to pressure this one. 2 saves inside the box successfully and in succession for Gallagher.
You know, that was a great job on just recovering from a mistake there, really. When I caught the end of it, I was kind of looking at the roster, so I thought it kind of came off of him. I don't know if we'll see replay later, but just making those 2 saves, another great reaction save, and then another chance just to get big in front of the ball and keep it from going in.
Nathan Carey checking in for Roanoke, and Lynchburg will make a change. Brendan Lagana, freshman out of Burlington, North Carolina, sees action for the first time on Schellenberger Field. I mean, I've called a good many soccer matches here, but I've never seen that quick of a jump back up, get back, and just the instinct of going at the ball instead of hanging back and trying to make a stop. He came at the ball to get big. Very wise decision by the senior.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You know, and again, Roanoke is getting a little momentum. Let's see if they do that throw again where they try to block a guy or block guys.
Going to be Gerald again, as it has been most of the night, tossing it in. Rolls back, there's Gallagher off his left arm and then uses the height to keep it away on a rebound chance. So Kyle Gallagher, the early star for the Hornets, 3 saves at this juncture and keeping it scoreless. One of the last times we saw Lynchburg and Kyle Gallagher play was in the ODAC tournament of 2019, and they had that upset win over the host school, Hampton-Sydney, in a shootout. Gallagher making the game-winning stop, game-saving stop, if you will. And it's been a long time since then. But so far, so good for number 1, wearing the gloves. Crosser, chested away by Auger, and trying to give Gallagher room to slide in. They eventually do. It wasn't pretty, but got the job done.
No, it's tough. And then, you know, when you're a back that comes off our back's chest, you really want to try to get set up the other way so a ball isn't chested off backwards like that towards your goal.
.16 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Things are pretty much even overall, not just on the scoreboard, but 5 shots apiece. Gallagher with 4 saves and 2 given to Behe. And all of the saves have been crucial to this point. They've all been proper saves, as that one almost squeaks through to be one that gets behind Gallagher. And certainly to your point, Coach, as we go back and look at some earlier chances from Lynchburg, each team has had some really good opportunities. There's that turnover that led to Gallagher putting himself firmly on the highlight reel. It's incredible work by him. But to your point, Roanoke has certainly found their legs, and they're feeling very confident, and their possessions, their offensive possessions, are sustained a lot more. They're not just one and done anymore.
No, and they're really kind of overloading a side. I mean, look where this forward is, and then you've got a center mid that's pushed pretty high too. They're really compressing and then being able to just kind of ticky-tack around a little bit when the ball's over there, win it, and knock some quick passes.
Gerald pushes it ahead, and the 2 6s go after it. Auger got there first. Some questionable decision-making according to the Lynchburg bench.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I was watching the thrower.
Here's another throw for the Maroons. They've done pretty well creating chances off these set piece throws. And here's another one, at least going forward. It'll be a goal kick. We haven't seen much of Lynchburg over the past 10 minutes on the offensive end. Behe, who was tested early, has been kind of just sitting back there keeping his legs warm.
Yeah, and it'd be good for Lynchburg to just get some possession, make the simple passes. You know, kind of calm. We call it the red zone. Get out of the red zone, get into the blue zone. You know, it's kind of that sports psychology stuff with Dr. Tiff. And,
right.
Settle down and play. And so if they can regain that possession, because they were knocking around great earlier, you know, they'll find the same success.
Certainly feels like a match with waves. Who's going to have the last one? Who's going to be able to wash up on shore with a victory, if you will, tonight? Right now it's the Maroons with the majority of the chances, but still 13 minutes to go. Lots of action remaining in the first half of what is the only game on the calendar for the Hornets of Lynchburg tonight.
That's awesome.
It's rare.
It's been busy.
Yeah,
you know?
it's rare for having all 3 seasons playing at once. Tomorrow starts the madness. Ben Mackey, good opportunity here for the Hornets. They haven't been down here in a while. Can they make it count? Daly's pass just too tall for Usman.
They're certainly getting opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got the options working for them pretty well. Give credit to both teams' defenses. Roanoke seems a little bit more sound in their chances. Of course, the Hornets' back line is, even including Gallagher, has made things tough on him at times. As many more changes are coming in for both teams. Patrick Perkunis is going to join the fray for the first time on Lynchburg's side of things. Did not catch the number for the Maroons. I think it's 28. Nathan Carey, he may have been in before. No whistle, and then we get a deflection across the end line, and our first corner of the night for the Hornets.
You know, the ref, he didn't signal for advantage, but, you know, again, after kind of the first, 15 minutes of really just calling anything, and then to let some of this go, you know, this is when it gets sort of interesting.
That's when the complaints come.
Yeah.
Certainly. 9th corner kick of the season coming here for the Hornets. Joey Daly will do the honors. An inward pass that is headed out by the Hornets defense once again. They're in the right spot at the right time. And then Behe's going to calmly send this one back. So each team with one corner in the first half of play, not able to muster up much on those chances. A free kick for the Maroons as well. That was high through the middle. Gallagher in his second season as a starter for Lynchburg. We'll boot that one away, and Mega trying to keep it in play. He does. Great tightrope work along the touchline. Slicing between 3 Maroons defenders, and his shot got deflected at the last moment. There was a lane there. We did have a good view of it that time.
Yeah, I thought that was going to get through. I mean, with his speed and just keeping that ball in there at the end was pretty impressive.
It's impressive is certainly the right word, and it's something that seeing a play like that is something that other opponents are just like, man, this guy's only a sophomore.
Yeah. Bunch more years. And this season, you know, or at least eligibility-wise.
Yeah, if he wants to do another, yeah, exactly.
If you're the coaches, you're saying absolutely.
Definitely,
please come back.
Please come back. We've got plenty of room for you.
Yeah.
Mackey with the free kick from distance. Lays down inside the box. Foley and Mega going after it. Foley points Mega to an open spot. Now he'll send it across. And it's going to go across the end line. And a goal kick for the Maroons. Kunis involved in that play for Roanoke, or excuse me, for Lynchburg, but his family does have Roanoke ties. Of course, Ryan, the older brother, is now an assistant coach after playing 4 years at Lynchburg. And then Chris is a Roanoke grad. Patrick finishing out his undergraduate years at Lynchburg.
Yeah, it's good to see young Pacunas out here. I know he's had that injury last year, and I'm sure he's happy to be on the field as well.
No question about that. I was doing an interview today with Coach Hillary Scott, Lynchburg men's basketball coach, as they gear up for the ODAC tournament this weekend, and he put it pretty plainly. Players want to play games. So it's good that we're out here doing this, regardless of there being no NCAA championships or anything of that nature. You're here to play a game, not just practice. And so not just Patrick, who's excited to be out here. I'm sure everyone is. To be playing against somebody else, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, we played against each other for 400 days, it seemed.
Yeah.
However long it was.
Yeah.
Not all of those days. Whatever we were allowed.
Whatever you were allowed, yeah. Whatever the amount. I think it was.
It seemed like 400 days.
Right. I think it was like 114 or something like that.
We certainly didn't play a game for that long of a period.
Correct. Yeah. We should note Michael Rendon is out there for Lynchburg. You may not recognize him. Last time I saw him, he had longer hair. But going back to the short hair for the season, no more quarantine haircuts, right?
Yeah, I don't even know where he is because I don't.
Yeah, he's right at the official.
I can't.
He's right behind the official right now.
Wow.
Doesn't even look like him,
No.
does it? Number 8 in gray, that's Michael Rendon. He'll be on your screen, I'm sure, a couple more times tonight. And we got a free kick again for Ben Mackey and company. Good ball. Headed up, though, by the Maroons. Still not out of harm's way yet. Eventually, Carmen able to clear. Mackey shoots it back in, and those two play catch a little bit. Mackey again taken down, and a free kick from that spot. 6:12 to go in the first half of play. Six to 5 shots advantage for the Hornets. 4 shots on goal for the Maroons, 2 for Lynchburg. Each keeper has made all shots faced. Mackey again winds up, sends it in, rolls across, and no one there to clean it up.
They saved it.
Usman keeps it in play, leaves it back here, and a good chance will continue as we wind down the time in the first half. Seth Dale will toss it in. Still looking, and misplayed.
Just an unlucky little bounce there.
And that was Pacunas. Started to go before he had the ball in possession. Good pressure. That's Lagana getting involved.
Did it again. Fantastic. Great pressure. Now, if they can get over to Mega here.
And offside is called.
Oh.
And I think we're going to get a stoppage, too. And a card is given.
That might be.
I'm not sure who that was on.
That looked like it was in the box from our angle to get a foul like that.
It's going to go against Carmen. We talked about his presence over 4 years, being a steady presence for this Maroons team.
I'm going to guess it was like a hold jersey, pulling him back. Because it didn't look real physical.
No, I didn't. From this angle, certainly not something warranting a yellow, but the official said otherwise.
Well, when you're, again, it's a little tough from our vantage point, but if you're the last defender there, you're going to get a card.
Right. It's always the last guy, right?
Yep.
So 4:53 remaining, and a free kick just outside the box Daly and Mackey options for Lynchburg.
See if they get an in-swinger here.
Watch for Auger, Lagana, Foley. They're all on the backside of this formation. They've got the height. And looking at that time for Lagana, and Behe just rising up and taking it out of midair.
That was big. I mean, it was certainly pretty much on frame.
I mean, if the keeper wasn't there, it probably would have been great.
Yeah.
Third big stop for Behe in terms of negating a good chance. Now the Hornets, here's that wave we talked about. It was the Maroons for 10 minutes. Now it's all Lynchburg with Mega crossing one through the middle. Great chance. Lagana not able to get all of his toe on it. And another opportunity gone by the wayside for the Hornets.
I mean, well, that was just an amazing cross to get through. He had 5 players set up in front of him.
And here's another great opportunity, but Carmen, as we mentioned, he's been steady all 4 years. He's there again, saving Behe's bacon and keeping it scoreless.
Behe's bacon.
It's just sometimes
it just comes
comes
out
to you. Yeah. Sometimes it's not great, but that one was okay.
I just had nothing to follow.
Yeah, it's hard to follow bacon in any
Yeah,
form, man.
seriously.
That usually ends the conversation as that shot goes wide off the foot of Lagana.
That was amazing because that was going in. I mean, what a great play by that defender to be behind his goalie to clear it off the line.
If Carmen was playing tomorrow night for field hockey, he'd be credited with a defensive save. That is a stat that they keep in that sport, and we will have it for you tomorrow on LHSN, 7 o'clock for the season opener. Lynchburg taking on Shenandoah, which was the championship matchup in 2019 for the ODAC title. Lynchburg won that. As we're going to get another card, and this one going against Gerald of Roanoke.
What are we? Is it 3 cards now? I mean, we're getting
3 total cards, 1 for Lynchburg, 2 for Roanoke.
just in the first half. It's not that, to me, it's not that it's overly physical, would you say? I mean, it just.
No, I wouldn't say that
it's
at all.
just bad fouls that
Yes.
they're just getting cards for. Dumb situations.
First card of the season for Lynchburg tonight, and with the 2 for Roanoke, now they have 5 yellow cards.
Like, for Roanoke, that's just a terrible card to get because the ball's going out of bounds. Just don't put your feet out. You don't, it's pretty simple.
.245 remaining in the first half, and it's been tight from the jump. Slow beginning, picked up in the middle, and has begun to trend towards a feverish pace as we wind down the first 45 minutes. Lynchburg has doubled up Roanoke in shots overall, 10-5. Not that long ago, it was 5 apiece. But still, 4 shots on goal for Roanoke, 2 for Lynchburg. And the keepers have those saves locked up. Lynchburg trying to regather and continue this momentum before halftime. Good chance here. Everyone moving forward. Mega in charge. And a good deflection. Kicking that one away was Carey off of Mega's leg.
It'd be interesting to see how close that ball was that was headed off the line. You have to get some goal line technology next.
That's the next thing. VAR.
We don't have the pylon cam here in soccer,
No.
so.
Don't say it too loud. John Waters would be making us go out there and make it happen.
Hey, I'm for it. So
I'm for it too.
just as long as we don't start doing VAR.
Yeah, well, please.
Yeah.
Let's not add that.
No.
Handball. Lynchburg possession. 1:20 to go. When halftime comes, we will step aside for a few minutes, check back in, and give you some stats, and also some highlights of the first half, and there's been plenty. Lots of saves,
Yeah.
good chances, even saves made by non-goalkeepers. Certainly worth sticking around for.
And Coach Yeager wasn't too happy about that ball, that free kick that just kind of went out. You know, it's like he was looking for a little more intentional play.
I asked him, what should we expect? He said, I'm not sure. So he's learning as we go as well, because it is a youthful group and a roster filled with a lot of names that aren't synonymous with men's soccer over the past 4 years.
And it's early, and
that too.
You know, I don't know if this is a rivalry for them at all, but maybe a little.
Usually is when Lynchburg and Roanoke get together, as Gallagher makes the catch at 10 seconds to go in the first half. 45 minutes in the books. We're still looking for that first goal, but we got plenty of great moments to bring to you during our halftime show. We'll be back. You're watching ODAC Men's Soccer on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.
Everyone has a story. A triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. Every story has a beginning. For us, our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students, professors, staff, and alumni around the world. In a community that supports who we are and who we want to be, we're on a journey to find where our passions lead so we can lead others to find theirs. Together, we have more experience, we have more knowledge than we do alone. Eventually, our stories will lead us to a path all our own, and we will share our passions with the world. No matter the journey we choose, the University of Lynchburg is, and always will be, our home.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Carrie Brewer became the 7th president of Lynchburg College in 1964, only 15 years after his graduation in 1949. During those intervening years, he had earned a PhD in public policy from Harvard, served as an aide to 2 major congressional committees, and was the director of emergency preparedness in the Kennedy administration. Returning to his alma mater, he hit the ground running. Dr. Brewer initiated a change in the college charter to allow students of all races to enroll. He cut the standard faculty teaching load by 20%. He improved faculty and staff salaries and increased the size of the faculty and the student body. He sought to raise the visibility of the college in Lynchburg, as well as the larger community, by offering graduate programs in education, business, and physics to meet identified needs in Central Virginia. An enthusiastic fan of LC sports, Dr. Brewer added administrative support to the college's athletic programs, resulting in the emergence of Lynchburg College as a national athletic power. During his presidency, Snido Chapel, the courts, McWayne, Tate, and Montgomery residence halls, the Burton Student Center, Turner Gymnasium, Wakefield House, Fox Field, the Dillard Fine Arts Building, the Capron Library, and the residences on Faculty Drive were added to the college physical plan. Also, Memorial Gymnasium was transformed into Hall Campus Center. Carnegie Hall was converted into faculty offices, and the surviving World War II Quonset hut was remodeled into the Psychology Building. However, perhaps the greatest legacy left Lynchburg College by Carrie Brewer is the attitude embedded in his oft-repeated statement that a great college is always in the process of becoming. In the decade since he retired, Lynchburg College has become a university and has continued to grow and change, moving ever closer towards becoming the institution envisioned by a 36-year-old neophyte college president over half a century ago.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field. It's a halftime score of 0-0 between the Hornets and the Maroons, and we'll take a look at the first half stats here. After 45 minutes, Lynchburg doubling up the Maroons in shots, but it's pretty tight in shots on goal, and as you would imagine, the saves area is tight as well. Also, 1 corner apiece for each team. We'll step aside for a few more moments. When we come back, we'll show you highlights of the first half of play and get ready for the second 45 minutes on LHSN.
My name is Jen Hyde. I graduated in 2018, and I got my major in philosophy, political science, and I minored in human services. And career-wise, right now I work at a residential treatment center for juveniles with sexually reactive behaviors. I would say the biggest advantage is definitely that it is a small campus. You know, you get to have that one-on-one with your professors. They're willing to help you out. They're going to get to know you more than just a student that they're teaching. You know, they really invest into your lives. Definitely use every resource that you can kind of get at Lynchburg. There's tons of mentors within the professors, the faculty, the staff here, your peers that are here. You have so many options that you can take. There's so many classes, you know, even if it's not within your major, if there's a class you're interested in, take it. Kind of explore your options, because Lynchburg does have such a wide variety of different things that you can do. You know, be involved, become a well-rounded individual, because Lynchburg sets up the support to where you can do that here.
My name is Brittany Coleman. I graduated in 2014, and I have a major in chemistry and a minor in secondary education, and I'm currently teaching chemistry and 7th grade science at a local combined school. Being able to have access to your professors pretty much anytime they're in their office is really helpful, especially in difficult science subjects. I love that I am able to teach a difficult subject to students who typically aren't going to perceive it as enjoyable. I'm able to present it in an interesting way because I was presented this information in an interesting way. It's nice for me to be able to mirror what it was that influenced me to be able to teach.
John Eccles joined the Lynchburg College community in 1986 as Director of Housing. As his famous beard grew, so too did his stature with the students he served on a daily basis. He seemed to be everywhere and rapidly became an integral part of campus life. He was asked to serve temporarily as Dean of Students in 1993 and soon earned the position on a permanent basis. In 2007, he became Vice President for Student Development, a position he held until his retirement in 2016. Simply put, John Eccles set the standard for student affairs professionals. He led the growth of Hornet Pride throughout the last 2 decades of his service through his direct and constant interaction with students, through his colorful sense of humor, through his visibility on campus, through the Red Chairs, the Red Chair blogs, and all the colorful emails to students. He created the annual Leadership Awards ceremony. In addition, John contributed his sense of humor, his calm demeanor, and his common sense approach to the leadership of the college at the highest levels of administration. He even donned a hard hat and work boots to supervise the construction of the Drysdale Student Center. His summer talks to new students, although wrapped in humor, were serious as he spoke his mantra, "Involvement is not an option, it is an expectation." He lived that ideal through his own involvement in student life, as the head cheerleader at Hornet athletic contests, and as a friendly and approachable face for generations of students. His legacy is a treasure for the students whose lives he impacted and a challenge for the entire university community to emulate. Thomas Gibson Hobbs graduated from Virginia Christian College in 1904 as a member of its first graduating class. After earning a law degree from the University of Virginia, he settled in Lynchburg and began a highly successful career as an attorney. In January of 1915, he was invited to attend a meeting of the College Board of Trustees, during which the possibility of closing the college due to financial concerns was to be considered. Mr. Hobbs spoke eloquently of the need to fight for the college's existence, and the board decided to continue operating the institution. He was asked to serve on the board at that meeting and served as a chairman of the Board of Trustees from 1918 until his tragic death in 1942. Mr. Hobbs was a guiding light as the college changed its name to Lynchburg College and moved toward becoming an accredited liberal arts institution. His relationships with the economic power structure of the city played a critical role as the young college struggled financially through the depths of the Great Depression. His belief in Josephus Hopwood's vision of the college never wavered, as reflected in his message to the student body in the late 1930s. Lynchburg College, with continued wise leadership, is just on the threshold of development into an institution which will, in still larger measure, build sound leadership in church and school and state, a leadership which will look for its reward in the consciousness of service rendered and a task well done. Upon his death in 1942, the Board of Trustees unanimously adopted a resolution of appreciation which named Mr. Hobbs as, quote, the college's greatest leader, unquote.
And welcome back under the lights of Schellenberger Field. It is a scoreless game at halftime between the Maroons and the Hornets. Let's look at some highlights from the first half. And Coach Newton, you know, a game of swings, a game of like a pendulum type of first half, wouldn't you say?
Yes, you know, as we've been talking, just really that game of momentum. Teams have had some really good opportunities, both teams. And though they haven't converted yet, it's putting the pressure on each team at that time. So though those goals may not go in, it causes this stress, which then causes mistakes. Mm-hmm. And I think you're seeing that.
You're seeing the mistakes, but you're also supplemented by those clips. You're seeing some guys make some big plays too, and you can't talk about the first half without talking about the keepers and what they've had to do in this first 45 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had just some unbelievable saves, and I think Gallagher just some of those saves he's had has been like, he's really, like you said earlier, getting some highlight reel opportunities. Though I don't know that you always want those to happen when you're the coach, but great job.
It's great to know you have someone back there that can make those plays.
Absolutely.
Because you do have a young core overall.
Yeah, and it really can settle your team down too,
Definitely.
Knowing he's there.
Of course, we can't give him all the credit because we know Dylan McLaurin's probably watching, and he's gonna be like, "Hey, man, he spent time under me. Of course he's, I'm an all ODAC player, an all stater. Come on now, give me some love too." We talked about Ben Mackey. His brother John is actually here, so it'd be great if Ben certainly could make it worth John's while in terms of maybe a goal or an assist or something like that. But for us, we'll be happy with a goal, period. And looks like we're getting to those moments. Each team having to work pretty hard in the beginning to get to that moment. Now we've had plenty of chances, so look forward to the second half being just as exciting. Again, for Lynchburg fans, this is the second of 16 games in 5 days on LHSN, and if you want to see the schedule, you can do so on this YouTube channel. You can also go to lynchburgsports.com, see all the video links for home events, away events. No matter where your Hornets are, there's a way to watch them, a way to follow along with them. Bookmark that page, lynchburgsports.com.
I know that I'm a subscriber, so I get the notifications anytime games are coming up. And again, like I said earlier, just play it on the YouTube app on our TV.
That part's so cool, right? Smart TV, it's so great.
It is. I watch our games. I'll watch some of our game film, doing that way from your broadcast, because we get to see some different angles that are great.
Second half underway, Lynchburg and Roanoke. The Hornets looking for their first outright win over Roanoke since 2018. In 2019, it was a tie and a loss. That was the year of the tie for Lynchburg in 2019. Seemed like they never could get the extra goal and get past the tie at the end of a match. Of course, both teams switching sides, so we'll direct our attention to the right side of the field for us when Lynchburg has the ball. Now Roanoke's going to take it back, and looks like, based on what we can see from here, both teams starting with who they began the game with, as you typically do. We had 3 cards in the first half in case you missed any of that action. 2 yellows for Roanoke and 1 for the Hornets.
Yeah, and if you're someone with a card, you might have to play a little differently, and so getting a card that early in the game kind of poses some difficulties.
Yeah, for Lynchburg, it was one of their captains, Nick Foley, who picked up the card. For Roanoke, it was Chris Gerald and also Joe Carmen, who also made, as you saw on those highlights of the first half, an excellent stop with his head to keep a goal from being on the board for Lynchburg. Here's Gerald right in front of us. Chang with a bit of a hard touch. Couldn't keep possession of it. I think Kearns is letting the official know that he might be missing something. Meanwhile, on the other end, Roanoke with the push. Anthony Zarlenga putting it back. Havert there to clear it for the Hornets.
Yeah, and if that ball didn't bounce backwards, hit the turf and drop, that could have been interesting. Another foul. I don't know what the foul count is.
It's a great question. We can look at lynchburgsports.com. Maybe they're keeping it. Yes, they are. It is
Nice.
9 fouls for Roanoke, 7 for Lynchburg now. So even everywhere,
Yeah.
just about. Free kick in the box. Chance here. Bounces around and cleared away by Dale calmly. Now Ben Mackey gliding through the midfield. Good lead ball for Robles. Robles, can he keep it in? No, he cannot. Just a bit too fast. There's Kenny Robles. Hat trick in his freshman season in one contest. Now the sophomore from Woodbridge, Virginia, looking to become a more sustained player on this team. Had 2 assists in the win over EMU. And I love looking at, obviously looking at bios, trying to find out more information on players. And I enjoy very much what Kenny said about his favorite movie, favorite book, favorite TV show. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars.
Wow.
All about Star Wars.
Oh, I imagine he's a big fan of The Mandalorian then.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He should be.
Just like I am.
Me too. Me too. All about it. All about the Star Wars universe.
Get some Baby Yoda.
Can't go wrong with that.
No.
Who would have thought, right? Who would have
Seriously.
thought it would take over?
Who knew they needed that in their life?
Right, exactly. Mackey with a chance just outside the 18. Here's Mega. Had a couple good options in the first half. Slides that one, trying to make the pass complete. He will. And then Daly will kick it away. Just kind of seemed like they got tight there in the one corner and just couldn't spread out.
Well, and if that ball had just slipped barely over that defender's head, I mean, he barely headed that out. They had a guy in behind, and most likely a goal, really, just from that spot.
Joe Carmen standing at 6'1", and that one certainly helped.
Just enough.
Gerald behind the play, barking out orders for that attack group.
Yeah, and he's trying to sort of direct them on pressing cues. They're wanting, again, this ball gets into the width. He's saying go. So they're trying to lock off half the field so you don't have to defend the whole field.
Bailey Kearns, shadowed by Burke. Robles has helps on the outside. Dale here, back to Robles. Dale goes down, Robles continues forward. Mackey with a heel touch near the 18. Mega plays it here. Still a chance. Mackey puts a charge into it and hits it wide right.
Well, they turned that into something there. You know, it was a little sort of kind of in the air, some weird balls, but turned into a great opportunity.
Second shot of the night for Ben Mackey. The other captain on the pitch for the Hornets, along with Nick Foley. Now both of them around the ball. As that goal kick falls to Burke, Mackey steps in front. Laying it back for Robles. Ahead for the neon orange kicks of Kearns. Finds its way to Shalita. And that is sent wide by Carmen, but it will give Lynchburg their second corner of the match.
Gaining some momentum back, you know, and I think it's been fun to see Ben Mackey and some of the plays there, you know, really just knocking the ball around and then getting it back, getting that shot off. He played a pass, fell down,
yeah,
and then combined again.
So it's going to be Joey Daly starting the corner process. Again, second corner of the night. In swinger, far, too far. Robles heads it back in, still bouncing around, and now cleared out of harm's way. Behe with the punch instead of the catch. So we're still going. And Roanoke is going to take possession on the near touch line. Our buddy George Diamond down there trying to stay out of the way. Getting some of those highlights tonight. And Robles misplays that header from Mackey, so Roanoke will quickly move down into their offensive area. And Robles is going to be called for that. Good sportsmanship by the sophomore. Helping up another sophomore.
A little bit of a dive from my vantage point.
Hey, that's what we got you here for. We want your honest opinion.
Yeah. I just didn't think he kicked him, but I think he felt him.
Right.
And went down.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're conditioned to go down when you get touched.
Yeah.
Michael Chang with the free kick. Line driver. Bounces back. And Dale will send it ahead for Bailey Kearns. Kearns, nice pass that's left there for Mackey sprinting into it. Now it's Mega on the outside, one-on-one. Dangerous as Mega works back to the top side. Behe with a stop low and will scoop it up as well.
What a fantastic counter on that, going from that foul, clearing it out, and just keeping the ball moving forward, and then getting it to someone who you want to have the ball in Luke Mega and create an opportunity.
He is so good at just smoothly working from the outside in and keeping, you got to move your hips quicker than that if you're a defender, and some just can't.
No.
He gets that top side of the 18, he's going to rip it every time.
No, and if he's running straight at you and you're facing him, he's just going to take a quick touch and you're still standing. That's what you want, though.
Right.
One move, get a goal.
Opportunities building for both teams. Got to love the ability for each to counter the other and keep things interesting. We'll see if that first half trend of waves, the pendulum swinging back and forth, will continue. We've played 10 minutes here in the second half and pretty even overall on chances.
Been pretty exciting, I think, too, so far.
Yes. Free kick now for Roanoke. Kicking it away is Alec to Tatagui, and Gallagher holding on. Pressure came, but Gallagher has the position, afforded that position as the keeper, and not enough pressure from Vincent Lamina.
He made that look easy, but that was a pretty dangerous ball right there.
Well, I've always been impressed by that. We talked about McLaurin and other keepers that we've seen throughout the years here at Schellenberger Field, and even the opposing keepers certainly. It looks easy, right, to make that catch, but I've never been in that position. You've got bodies all around you. You've got heads and all around you trying to keep that ball from touching your hands, and so certainly can't be. At this point, it might feel easy to him, but I know I couldn't just go out there and give it a go.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no room for error.
Right.
He can't drop that ball where he's at and where those players are. So it's good work.
Gallagher and the goalkeeper guys being coached by a former keeper here at Lynchburg, Scott Zaring, on the sidelines tonight. A guy that is very involved in the high school soccer community, coaching Jefferson Forest.
Get to see Scott here. I get to see Scott at
right,
the high school.
Good chance here for Lynchburg, but Kern's the only one in, and we do get a corner for the Hornets now. It's their second of the half, third of the game.
Taking this corner for Lynchburg, number 10, Ben Mackey.
Ben Mackey will take his first corner of the night. It has been Joey Daly.
Get another in-swinger here to goal. Looks like they're setting up differently, too.
Heavy presence around the goal line at the moment. Trying to find that pink shirt of Behe in amongst the trees. Low wind swinger. Behe with contact and keeps it from going across the line. Just got enough. Did one in pink.
Joe, I thought that was going in. I mean, I didn't see Behe at all, and Just a hand comes out. You'd see those white gloves.
Mm-hmm. Corner again. This time they play it short. Now Robles will cross it. High to the far side. Punched away by Behe. And gathered here by Joey Daly. He'll give it a go. Headed out by Lamina. Shalita. An offside call from the near side official. And that's not going to make Lynchburg's coaching staff very happy. He's taking another look at the save from Behe. You can see him trying to find room behind those players. Boop. And then all of a sudden, wow, talk about reflexes.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent stop by the junior from High Point, North Carolina. His 4th save of the night. I'm always going to have a special place for the High Point folks. I went to High Point University. And now we've got a discussion with Behe and the official. It is Roanoke possession.
I don't understand what's happening right now.
Neither do I. They called offside.
They're calling a drop kick.
Well, everyone's coming back to the ball.
So,
okay. What is the precedent for this? Is it just
it's like he stopped the play dead.
Is this because they couldn't agree on what happened, or
that's what it looks like? It looks like he called. Did he call offsides and then decide it wasn't? I mean, honestly, nothing was going on over there to even have an idea of what this could be.
Right. The flag was definitely up from the near side AR.
And you see, Roanoke just does kind of the sportsman thing and just plays out of bounds for Lynchburg. I mean, it'll be almost a chance there. I almost got it through. It'll be interesting to talk to the coaching staff.
Well, if we know one thing, don't leave. Keep watching the game, because we have no idea what's coming, and random chances are being formed at times. Random moments. I don't think I've ever seen a drop kick. I've heard about them.
They're not common.
No, they're like those elusive things in life that you just don't expect to see.
Well, I'm glad I could be here with you for that, Joe.
Yes, me too. Me too. It certainly helped it go a little bit smoother than it would otherwise.
I don't know that I added any clarity.
Well, at least I wasn't the only one in the dark.
Because there wasn't a lot.
Well, that just adds to the list here in 2021 of things on LHSM broadcast that we don't usually get to see in person. I'll tell you about that after Roanoke's opportunity. And looks like we'll have some time. But just last week in one of the baseball games for Lynchburg, we saw a grand slam and an immaculate inning.
Wow.
In one single contest.
That's amazing.
Not to mention a comeback from being down 9-2 to win 11-9. I never even knew what an immaculate inning was until it happened, and it was explained to me, and I know how rare it is now.
Did Mark?
No, it was not Mark.
Okay.
It was not. Mark wasn't there. So
wow, he missed that.
He did. Yes.
He probably would have been fired up.
The baseball nut that Mark Robertson is.
Yeah.
He missed one of the most rare things in the history of baseball. And for those that don't want to Google it, it is 9 straight pitches that are strikes, not balls, and that get the 3 batters out. So 3 pitches per batter, all strikes. They all struck out in one inning. Never seen that happen before.
And that is why I'm only allowed to call soccer with you, because any other sport I would have no idea what's going on.
Well, I'm glad you're here, because this is more that side for me, too. This is more the weak side for Joe Hutzler's broadcasting career.
And I can give a shameless plug for your NASCAR podcast, which I do sometimes listen to, but I do not know what's happening.
Well, we appreciate the download no matter what, whether you know what's going on or not. I do appreciate that. It's been a little bit of a labor of love for me and Coach Dunn, the director of swimming, who's got a big weekend. ODAC Swimming Championship starting tomorrow, Friday and Sunday from Liberty University's natatorium. And a really good opportunity for his squad to come away with a conference title in only their second year since coming back since the 70s. So
yeah, he's doing some awesome stuff. Coach Dunn is a great guy.
looking forward to seeing what they do this weekend as Shalita gets backed into. Lynchburg still has possession. Chipped in. Behe holds. Shalita is up, by the way.
You know, and again, that's like, I would have wanted a call there too.
Mm-hmm. That's our fault. We gave him a lot of credit in the first 10 minutes.
Seriously, we jinxed it.
We did.
Yeah.
We should have known better.
Yeah, seriously.
Here's Shalita again through the middle. Lynchburg has 3 shots here in the second half. Roanoke with 1. Hornets have put 2 of their 3 on target. Behe making both stops. Good ball outside here for Robles. And a dead sprint with Gerald. Taken down. And Robles is hot.
I mean, he was taken out. I mean, the ball went forward, and he got his legs taken out of. I was about to talk about pressing cues again for a second, where Auger just had the ball kind of come under him for a second, which was fine. He was totally fine, but you could see where Roanoke decided to go in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So they did call it.
Okay, yep, there's going to be a free kick.
It was pretty delayed.
Yeah, that's why Robles was hot, and then next time we saw him on camera, he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Mackey and Daly awaiting their turn on this free kick.
I'm going to call it as Daly this time again.
And it is. No, it isn't.
No, fake us out.
Ben Mackey inside and headed away by Burke. Now it's back in play. No one around, though. And Behe can hold on. And our first substitutions of the second half being made for both squads about 5 minutes sooner than they did in the first half of play. Saeed Usman is in, as well as Brennan Lagana for the Hornets. And looks like number 10 for the Maroons. That's Gabriel Hendy, sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia, getting playing time on the back line.
We'll get to see this young freshman on our side now.
Part of the Usman brothers that have played here at Lynchburg in years past. Saeed coming from Charlottesville by way of the Dab, Kenya. We've been there, well, to Kenya. Right idea, one-on-one. Foley keeping his man away from the ball, but now Hendy has control. Hendy heels it back for Chang, and too hard of a touch from Chang to make a good, honest push.
Yeah, and they did a good job of kind of keeping their shape and kind of interchanging, because that was a dangerous situation. It became a 2v2 and then a 1v1 and turned in some combination play.
More substitutions. Lynchburg is going to bring Patrick Pecunis back in. And we'll also see number 28 for Roanoke, Nathan Carey. Another young player, sophomore out of Severna Park, Maryland. Dale sends it forward for Usman.
Great turn.
Mackey leaves it back. Pecunis not going to get there first, though.
He turned out of that pressure, and there he just left 3 guys in that corner.
Daly working against Hendy. Hendy gives it up for Zarlenga. Now low crosser. And no whistle here. They continue play. Got to be careful. Don't want everyone looking at the official and then Roanoke sneaking in for a shot. In the end, it's a goal kick.
A little bit of acting there.
Not everybody's a Golden Globe winner.
No.
You know? But you got to try. Falani, let's see. Yeah, Falani Malashwa is in for the first time. tonight. Senior from Zimbabwe, playing in the midfield. Gets that one off to Carey. And now Hendy being pressured by 2 Hornets, forced to give it back to Maleshwa. And Auger got in there to slow down the rush. But again, we're seeing some of that swing momentum happening in the second half.
We are. It's starting to get into the Lynchburg's final third a little bit more. We're about halfway through the half.
Gerald with the toss.
Again, they continue to try to hit that player. Can't quite see his number from here, but that's the play. They're trying to play to him to flick on because the ball's not quite getting into the box.
You think that's just the thing, Coach Pflugrad and his staff saying, you know, based on Gerald's ability, we're going to have this unorthodox play on the throw in?
Yeah,
maybe?
I mean, it's a lot of teams use that, and they'll you know, the throw's not quite there, so they'll try to hit a player who can flick or redirect, and then could get onto that second ball for the goal.
Patrick Bakunis limping a little bit, able to get up though. That's good news, as Coach Newton alluded to, coming off of an injury. Certainly get a little bit more nervous when you see a guy like that go down.
I was a little nervous, but yeah, like you said, it's good to see him walk it off and get back into the mix.
Josh Auger gets it started. They'll work it to the other side of the field. Gets around Daly.
That was a great delay there because there was about to be a pretty quick counter to goal and the numbers weren't super favorable.
Lots of touches here in the midfield. Roanoke taking their time, looking for their spots. Zarlenga gave it up. Now he gets it back, puts it in the corner, and Daly will slow things down. (13-6) shots advantage for the Hornets with 21 minutes to go. Each team with 4 chances to score, and both Behe and Gallagher up to the task to stop those chances. Sliding away from the end line and pushing it into throwing territory was Joey Daly.
Going to see it again.
So it's Gerald tossing in. You've got Hendy in there with Maleshwa. Also Camilleri inside. Over the head of Zarlenga, looking for Maleshwa, and Mackey got in the way. Mega. Good ball for Bakunis. Long pass and just too strong for Lagana.
Yeah, Bakunis didn't seem super happy with his pass. He kind of wanted that back and trying to hit one of the 2 runners.
It didn't amount to a good scoring chance, but once again, we've seen Lynchburg's ability to counter.
Yes.
That's a huge plus for them right now.
It is, and I think it's almost like you're seeing both teams do that, playing for these counters.
Good rush. Just not able to be played cleanly.
And so, you know, right now is an opportunity where they just have to sort of ping it around because the shape is good right now. But, you know, when you're playing for those counters, the other opposing team has gotten a lot of numbers forward. So when you play those quick passes forward on the counter, you cut so many players out of the play that it creates a really dangerous opportunity. It's like a fast break in basketball.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was thinking in my head. You know, we talk about fast breaks a lot.
That's about all the basketball knowledge I'll be able to give you there.
Mega, great ball led back for Bakunis. Does not get past Carmen. Still opportunity here for Lynchburg. They hold possession. Usman lost it. Trying to get it back. Steps in. Good tackle. Whistle blows. Roanoke ball. Even the guys in the booth are getting upset. Throwing stuff around. That's expensive equipment, boys.
That was interesting.
Usman with nice effort. Good gritty effort for the freshman. Not happy with the call, of course.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was called, but
there was a whistle.
Yeah.
Good header by Mackey making contact. Hornets in control with the rush. Mackey looking inside. Usman's there. Here's the cross. Chips it in. Looking for Lagana. It'll roll back and be kicked away by the Maroons. 2 excellent chances in less than 60 seconds for Lynchburg.
Yeah, and that was just a fantastic ball. It had great weight to it.
Another good one for Usman, trying to chase it down. And too much speed and size coming from Vincent Lamina. 6'3", 169, using all of that to push Usman out of the way. And Behe will boot it to midfield. Foley stepping into that. And that one out of play. Roanoke possession.
Getting a little close to the crowd mic there.
Yeah, I was a little nervous at first.
Maybe a few words.
Spirited
yeah,
moment.
It's good one way to put it. I looked at you like I don't know if that came through my mic.
It did not come from us. Did not come from us.
No.
Everything's good from our view.
Yeah.
And Roanoke's going to keep it here deep in their third. Lynchburg's third, defensive third. Gerald. See if we have that block again.
They're trying to hit 10. Yep.
Yeah, Hendy's got the height. Here's a chance, and it's wide left. Just got into it a bit too soon on the swing. It's like a baseball player who swings too early and fouls it off. That kick coming from Nathan Carey just off the mark. You mentioned Gabriel Hendy, number 10. He is 6'2", so it makes sense that they go after him.
Yeah, and they, Lynchburg front and backed him, and that's just one of the best ways to really try to take it away, make it difficult. But you see there where the redirect, that's really all they're kind of playing for, redirect, and they get a shot off.
The way the second half is trending, it's now Lynchburg's turn to try and put the pressure on. Mackey will get it rolling from the middle. Auger and Foley play catch. Here's Hendy. Good ball ahead, intended for Zarlenga. And slowing the momentum down was Auger. Maroons with the pressure. Zarlenga inside. Dale kicks it away. Malashwa being hounded by Lagana. Seen some fearless play out of 18 when he comes in off the bench, pressuring those offensive players for the Maroons, as this low crosser is cleaned out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've been pretty impressed with the pressure that he's put on, and sometimes that's all it takes. You're just looking for them to make the mistake, make the bad pass, and you may not win the ball, but you cause stuff that they don't want to happen.
Mm-hmm. Another deflection. And it remains Maroons' possession. Under 15 minutes to go in the regulation time period that we have. The Maroons have already earned 2 ties on their record this year. Scoreless tie against Bridgewater in a 1-1 tie versus the Generals of W&L. There's a deflection, looking for a handball, not going to be there. Still a good push for Roanoke, though.
It is, and when you're able to have a weapon like a throw that you can play like a corner, you really try not to give that to them if you can, because it just is causing, it's really causing a lot of the trouble, because the ball's, I don't know that Roanoke's connected a ton, but the ball's gone out, and then we're in situations like this again.
And once again, it is Gerald near that corner. As you mentioned, basically a glorified corner kick. It's a toss instead. Had some spin to get it back to the 18. Headed up by Zarlenga. Still anybody's chance. Bakunis heads it back. Hendy will pull it down. Chipped high. Daly around it. Player goes down. One of those, he got felt again.
Yeah.
And Camilleri still down. Meanwhile, a change is made on the pitch. It looks like Lynchburg's going to bring Monzi Shalita back in. Started the game.
And again, you just see, like, you know, the pressure that those things put on, those throws like that are like corners. You know, it causes the other team to make mistakes or do things that they don't want to do. And so goals eventually could come. That's just what you're shooting for as coaches. You just want to continue to put that type of pressure on a team. So it's a good weapon to have.
And each team has pressured. I think that's such a beautiful part about tonight's game. Definitely no real clear advantage for either team. Stats are pretty even across the board. Lynchburg is out shooting Roanoke 14-7 as this ball comes flying in, headed away by Lamina. Averett's going to attack. Chip inside. Miss hit. Still loose. And eventually sent out by Carey. And then that one turned over by the Hornets.
That's one of those funny moments where the ball goes out of bounds and both teams point there in their favor.
Change here for Roanoke as you take a look at their next three matches against the Hornets of Shenandoah, the Panthers of Ferrum, and the Wildcats from right here in Lynchburg, Virginia, Randolph College. All ODAC contests and only a few on the schedule. Mega slicing in, now leaving it back for Mackey. Shalita taken out by Gerald and just wrong place, wrong time in that moment.
Yeah, and he slipped a bit.
Shalita working on Maleshwa. Now Mega to his right foot. Got deflected through and then cleared away by Roanoke's Armstrong.
And he got that off in like the tiniest window, but you and I could see it from here.
That confidence again. I mean, skill is certainly there, but confidence he has, especially after that freshman year. Tiny window, still going to try to fit the ball through it. Under 10 minutes remaining in regulation here. Maroons and the Hornets. Lynchburg looking for their first victory over Roanoke since 2018. They do lead the series in the last 10 meetings, 5-3-2. Carmen And misplayed it. Certainly did not want that to go out. Corner kick for the Hornets coming up.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a little bit of a miscommunication with the keeper. I thought he could have come up and just grabbed it or cleared it.
Lynchburg making a change. Bailey Kearns coming back in. Let's take a look at the Hornets' next 3 matchups. Virginia Wesleyan Marlins coming here on Sunday at 4 o'clock. Then they'll play Liberty in an odd Division III, Division I type of matchup. And then they'll take on the Quakers as this in-swinger is punched out by Behe. Mega gets it through to Kearns. Played it back. Right idea, just Mega not there. Of course, there will be people that question if that was the right idea, if it didn't work.
It was close. If that had slipped through, thought Mega would go right to goal. It's a little bit in the corner, but still. It's got that speed.
Just 7 matches left on the calendar for Lynchburg. And if they're anything like this one, people won't have much nails left.
Yeah.
This is tight.
Yeah.
Scoreless, of course.
Especially if you're Roanoke, where you've been in 2 of these. Maybe more, we don't know.
Well, they certainly feel, I guess, the most comfortable in these situations. Lynchburg winning 6-0 in their sanctioned game, but they have played Sydney, they have played Randolph in exhibition matches. Mackey looking for Usman. That exhibition with Hampton-Sydney, by the way, was a 1-1 tie, so and technically Lynchburg has been here.
Okay.
Not a scoreless tie, but they have been here. As now we get call from the official, some chatter in the stands. Stoppage of the clock. And I think we've got a player down. Yeah, that's Usman along the Lynchburg bench.
I feel like we've had a couple players cramp. Even on the Roanoke side, just like, off camera, it looked like they kind of went down a little bit. Wonder if that's what this is.
The Usman being looked at by the athletic training staff for Lynchburg. As the Maroons make another change, Dylan Burke is back in. Under 6 minutes to go in regulation. Scores still scoreless. 14 shots to 7 advantage for Lynchburg. 5 shots on goal. Roanoke with 4. Trying to add another one here on this rush. Burke on the outside, and a good slide tackle from Auger. And that's actually going to go across the end line, so it's a corner for the Maroons.
Wow.
It just took a bad roll for the Hornets.
I just didn't even see it do that.
3rd corner of the match for Roanoke. Haven't seen one since the first half. Burke taking it. Swings in. Gallagher punching it down over the top of Gerald's head. And then Mega is going to take control away from the box.
Got the refs going to play advantage here.
Shalita and Gerald vying for the ball. Gerald will win at that time.
There was definitely a foul on Kearns. The ref was about to call it, but he let it play out. I don't know. Not quite the advantage I would have wanted. I'd probably ask for the foul back.
We've talked about the team numbers so far. It is worth looking at the individuals, even though there are no goals to be accounted for. We've got to talk about the keepers, of course, for each team. Roanoke, Zach Behe, 4 shots on goal, 4 saves. Kyle Gallagher, the same, 4 shots on goal, 4 saves. Dylan Burke has 2 of those shots on goal for Roanoke. And on Lynchburg's side, they have 3 guys with a shot on goal, 4 guys, I beg your pardon. Luke Mega has the most shots, along with Ben Mackey with 3 total. And one of those 3 being on target. Here's Mega again, through the middle. Right idea, pushing it outside, ball rolls and is collected. Robles plays it back for Mega. A man goes down in the box. That was Kearns. Here is Kearns trying to get to that ball. And it's a goal kick for Behe.
Yeah, and when that ball's in the corner, you had Mackey wanting the service because he was wide open in the box.
Inching closer to extra time, extra soccer on this Thursday night. Still time for someone to be a hero. 2:49 to go in regulation.
Had a little push off, so they called it.
Tadagui keeps it short on the free kick. Carmen, he's going to send it, looking for Tadagui on the other side, off the head of Dale, and another corner for the Maroons.
A little bit of fan chirping. I was trying not to laugh at.
Former men's soccer player on the sidelines supporting his former teammates. Burke will take the honors of the corner with 2 minutes remaining in regulation. In swinger, far side, loose. Tadagui chases it down. Tadagui turning it back in, good ball. And Gallagher getting in front to hold on.
Yeah, and I thought he punched the other one away too, which was great.
That's where those long arms come in handy for a guy like Gallagher. Stands at 6'4" to begin with. Hands that come down to his thighs, so long wingspan.
Yeah, I didn't know he was that tall.
Neither did I, but stand next to him sometime.
Yeah.
You'll know. "70 seconds remaining in the first home game of the season for Lynchburg.
Roanoke just letting that type of ball being played in. They got so many numbers back there to head it away.
Mackey got a piece, and it's out of play.
Go here.
Maroons looking for a last push here. 40 seconds to go. Falling down was Carey. Gets it back now. Played ahead for Camilleri. Omega takes over. And now heels it back with less than 30 seconds to go. Tadagui steps in front. Sent outside. Last second push for the Maroons. Gallagher's going to chase it down.
Yep.
And that should take us to OT.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
90 minutes, not enough here tonight. We've got more soccer for you. After this short break, you're watching ODAC Men's Soccer on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Welcome back. We're getting ready for overtime. Coach Faverka didn't know there was overtime. He's the man on your screen talking to John Waters right now. We couldn't get back in time to show you, but he walked all the way across the field with that flag in his hand to start collecting the flags. Here he is, and then he's walking back to place it back down because we do have more. We have more soccer to be played. So, got to excuse Coach. As you mentioned a moment ago, he's a golf director of golf. There's no overtime in golf.
Different rules in golf.
Yeah, sometimes you do have playoffs.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have playoff rounds, but
he was removing the flag for the putt, I guess. So.
That's right. Either way, we're going to extra soccer here. It's still scoreless after 90 minutes of action between the Hornets and the Maroons. We're going to step aside for another quick break. When we come back, we'll show you highlights of the second half of play on LHSN.
My name is Marlene Castaños. I graduated in 2009. I was a communication major. I am a digital producer now for the Martin Agency. So we have brought up amazing clients from Geico to Land O'Lakes to Oreo. So we get to create amazing content, all those funny Geico commercials that you see. And as a digital producer, I get to create amazing content for digital. I was very highly involved here. I was president of my class while I was here. I was president of the Hispanic Society. I joined a sorority when I was here. I had like 2 jobs. So having a sense of managing my time, it kind of pushed me to be better at my job right now. Just knowing that you had someone on your corner was really important, and they really took the time to really invest in their students. I felt like I had a cheerleading squad behind me at every single point. They were the ones that encouraged me to look for those opportunities, to push myself, to be better. So it's definitely truly an amazing place. I brag about this place all the time. So if anyone gets lucky enough to be part of this community, it's life-changing.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field under the lights tonight. We've got extra soccer coming your way. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the second half of play. Still no goals on these highlights clips, but continued chances for both teams. Coach Newton.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like it's been a game of counters, getting kind of those fast break opportunities like we talked about, sort of some basketball terms. And then just being kind of dangerous in the box here. They've had some quick shots there. They've had both keepers have had to come up and knock things out. And
that's my favorite for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here in this overtime period. Sudden death.
Sudden death, that's right. Golden goal here as you see some more of those set piece opportunities for the Maroons. Not able to come away with anything sufficient. They did pick up 2 shots on goal in the second half, so 4 total in the game so far. Neither team putting a lot more shots on than they had in the first half. Second half shot total for Lynchburg was 4. Second half shot total for Roanoke was 2. And right now, Behe with 5 saves, Gallagher with 4. The Hornets have 4 corners compared to Roanoke's 3. And the fouls are pretty even too, 13-12. Lynchburg with 13, Roanoke with 12. So as you might expect, as we're going to overtime, no one scored, so the stats are pretty even as well. It showcases why we have a tight one here. Home opener for Lynchburg. First contest on Schellenberger Field this weekend.
We'll get to see what kind of philosophies these guys have as far as, do you go for it, try to get that goal, or do you try to weather the storm, get the tie, get the point?
Nope. They were ready.
They got a little excited. Jump before the kick there.
We'll try it again. Still 9:59 on the big clock. Now it's at 10, so we'll go again. Overtime underway. And right away, Roanoke doing what you said, just sending it deep. And now they'll have a corner kick.
Yeah, no one was really thinking they would try to go right from the start, right at goal. And now they've got a corner opportunity, which is not ideal in this scenario.
Roanoke had just one in the first half. Now they have 3 between second half play and overtime early on. Burke will start it. Out a little bit further than the last few. Glances at the 18. Maleshwa got a piece, but nothing to get excited about. And it's going to be Lynchburg tossing it in.
Yeah, not a great service on that corner, which is good if you're Lynchburg.
Right. Yeah, everything else had been closer to the line, and those in-swinging style kicks. That one just away from higher percentage scoring area.
Yeah, and then, you always have somebody at the top, for a shot, but even still, it can be a little difficult because there's just so many bodies in the box.
Maroon still with possession. 2 ties already this season for Roanoke. Scoreless tie versus Bridgewater and a 1-1 tie versus the Generals of Washington and Lee. Lynchburg in their first overtime match of the early season after a 6-0 win over EMU to start the 2021 campaign. But they did play to a 1-1 tie versus Hampton-Sydney in an exhibition match last week. Shalita just goes deep with it, and too strong for Kenny Robles. Good ball here near side. Joey Daly's got room and space to assess the field. Averett, one touch, hard pass toward the 18. Kearns breaks away. Bailey Kearns not getting there before Behe can slide into it. And each team now with solid chances.
About like the game's gone so far. Pretty even in many ways.
In many ways, yes. Chances, obviously the numbers speak for themselves, but the back and forth affair continues here in overtime. Wouldn't expect anything less. 2 evenly matched programs. Roanoke getting a tie and a win versus Lynchburg in 2019. The Hornets defeating the Maroons in 2018 here on Schellenberger Field. They've played 3 times since '99 in the ODAC tournament. Roanoke winning 2 of those 3. Long boot from Gallagher. Changes ends of the field. Anthony Zarlenga very excited about that play he made.
Surprise, too.
Right, yes. Just as much surprise as elation, for sure.
They were both kind of laughing about it.
Front and center is Tiernan Armstrong, a junior from Greenville, South Carolina. There he is again, just for good measure.
Beautiful town.
Yes, yes. I was going to say it, but just figured everyone knew.
Yeah. They have like awesome river park in the middle of the town.
Oh, really? I haven't been there. Everyone talks about how great it is.
Yeah,
so.
It's awesome.
Across the end line. Another goal kick for Kyle Gallagher, who has 5 saves in his first game at home as a senior. I hesitate a little bit sometimes to even say the year in which they are at school, because they do have that extra year to play if they choose to do so. But of course, everyone's got a different plan, whether they want to go to grad school or not. So
yep.
Could be the final season for guys like Kyle Gallagher and Ben Mackey, and maybe not. Maybe they'll decide to come back in the fall of 2021.
After tonight, though, Gallagher with those saves.
Big confidence booster for a keeper to know that, and obviously from a coaching stand. You mentioned it, like you don't really want your keeper to be in those positions.
No.
But if he can make those type of saves, you'll feel good about a potential breakdown that could happen throughout a match.
Yeah, sorry to all the keepers, but you prefer them to be bored.
Yes, yes, like yours have been recently.
Yeah.
Good run here. Mega on the outside. Pressure comes from 2 Maroons. He holds possession, chips it forward, and Kearns had hesitated, slowed down.
Just not quite on the same page.
Somehow we've gone most of the game and haven't talked about your squad, by the way. Congrats on the great start so far, 3-0.
Yeah.
It's doing pretty good.
Been a lot of fun. You know, it's a really fun group, and we love them a lot, and they've worked really hard, and we're just proud of what they're doing.
Malashwa through the middle. Zarlanga picks it up here. Good ball outside. Played for Armstrong. Zarlanga in. And then Mega steps in front. Gets a chance to put on a show. Still heavy pressure from the Maroons. Just 2:39 remaining in the first overtime. Shalita connects with Mega. Can Lynchburg get one more push for a chance to end it in OT number 1? Avery not quite sure where to go with it forward.
Yeah, and Roanoke's just trying to play for Lynchburg to make a mistake and for them to not make mistakes at this point.
Foley goes deep, looking to connect with Mackey. Behe had trouble and then able to recollect. Again, looking just for a bad bounce that could go the way of the home team.
That ball's tough anyways because he's coming across the goalie like that. And so even if he wins it, like the ball's going to have to go back centrally.
Right.
It can't just be his run that makes all that work and then no one's there, because you're not able to score with it. You're really just an assist unless you can handle it further out and beat the keeper and just tap it in.
Maroons with the push, 1 minute to go in the first OT. Good potential on this. Dale stepping in though.
Yeah, that was close. I mean, he was not goal side of his player, and they played him in, and thankfully it kind of, I don't know if he touched it away, but obviously we cleared it away. Here we go, Joe.
One more glorified corner.
Yep.
Here in OT number 1.
Got the big tall center back up there.
Toss comes in, whistle before it lands. Foul on Roanoke.
And there's the advantage of the double team front and back. He pushed off the guy in front of him, causing the foul, which is good for Lynchburg.
So that'll do it for the first 10 minutes. They'll switch sides, add 10 more minutes onto the clock, and try one more time to end the scoreless stalemate. After one OT, it's still scoreless. Lynchburg and Roanoke on LHSN.
My name is Taylor Clark, and I graduated in the spring of 2019, and I was a math major, and I'm currently a processing and packaging supply chain leader at Frito-Lay here in Lynchburg. As a math major, I loved every single second being in the classroom. I would fight for those professors, my classmates. I learned and grew as a person being in that class and challenging myself more than I would have ever thought I could. A big part of my job is root cause analysis and being able to look at a problem and figure out why did this happen and how can we make sure that this doesn't happen again. So as a math major, you learn that you need to have fundamental truths before you make any other statement, make any other assumption. The reason why I chose Lynchburg, and it's the general consensus on campus, is the relationship you get to build with your professors. And that sense of community that you get where you and your peers all understand and know that the people who are trying to push me to be better also will support me through it all.
And we're back at Schellenberger Field. Still not done yet. Looking for the first goal of the contest. And we're into second overtime. 10 minutes remaining for the Maroons to avoid a third tie of the season. And for Lynchburg to try and keep their winning streak going after winning the season opener versus the Royals of Eastern Mennonite. Looks like Brennan Lagana is going to be out there for the Hornets to start the second OT. He did not start the first OT. Bit of a change up front.
Yeah, that pressure, though, it's been impressive. When he's been on the field, he's really caused them some trouble. Young freshman.
Mm-hmm. Some of that fearless freshman mentality sometimes really helps. So everyone ready? Officials ready? Players ready? We've been ready.
See if they do the same.
And they will go deep just like Roanoke did. Not quite as deep, though.
Yeah, not quite like about to score deep, but that surprised me.
Soccer coaches are so nice when they yell at the officials, call them sir all the time.
Yeah. It's just to add that little respect while you're screaming at them.
Right.
I've been known to, talk to a few.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm nice.
I've heard a few times. You are pretty
I'm nice.
You are pretty nice. It's all about the tone more than what's being said,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Here's Carter Averett finding Lagana.
Touch just got away from him.
Lynchburg still with control. Mega working on the outside. And a ball played for Lagana that Carmen stepped in front of.
It's a good save, really. That was going through for sure. And it had good weight.
You know, to be easy to, if this game ends scoreless, to make the keepers your players of the match.
Yeah.
But you got to give some love to that guy, 29 in black, Joe Carmen. He's got a yellow card tonight, but a couple of those plays like that, plus being on the goal line when the ball got past Behe.
That's true.
To head it away. Otherwise, we may not be where we are.
That's true.
Shalita got a touch on it with the noggin, but now it's Maleshwa and the Maroons. I feel like they had the control most in the first overtime, trying to carry it over here. Since halftime, Lynchburg has actually struggled with chances on net. They had that good corner to start the second half that Behe got a piece of, but 14 total shots. They had 10 at halftime. Roanoke had 5, now they have 8. So things really got tight in the second half for sure.
Both teams kind of adjusted to what they were trying to do.
Pretty good ball here for Robles. Can he catch up to it in time? He will. Here's the crosser, keeping it low and mistouched by 14 in black. That's Vincent Lamina. I don't know if he thought that Gerald was going to come at it or not, but either way, Lynchburg gets a corner.
Well, and that's another scenario. You try to tell defenders, get your hips facing away from goal, because when the ball comes in, and if it's a good cross and you're in front of goal, you as a defender become a shooter. And in that scenario, you give up a corner.
And Joey Daly will take it. 5th corner of the night. Line driver, and it'll be a corner again.
Taking it from the bench for number 32, Joey Daly.
This time more air under it. Maleshwa gets a piece, and we'll go to the other corner. Give that a try.
There goes Ben to in swing from the other side. Try to put all your tall guys in the box.
Right. Each team had 4 corners before the second OT. Now Lynchburg with their 7th. Ben Mackey will send it in. Everyone moves out near the 18. Player goes down before
he got pulled.
Stop the clock and have a chat. Robles is down. Now he's back up.
He didn't get tripped or slip. He got pulled down.
So Lagana and Gerald are chatting. They shake hands. Everyone's been tested. They're all negative, by the way. And we'll try it again. In swinger. And there's Carmen.
Again.
Mega doing all he can, being hounded by Maroons. Leaves it back for Averett. Smart play back to Mackey, who's got some green space in front. Low crosser. And that tall height. The defenseman for Roanoke playing a big role. Daly with the left foot. There's Gerald in the way. Just not enough underneath these balls for the Hornets. Not out of harm's way yet as Roanoke. Frustrating moments for Lynchburg. Getting good chances, but not getting anything towards goal.
Well, and a ball bouncing around like that, you know, obviously it's not great possession or great play, but they're dangerous because things happen. And you really want it to get, if you're defending, you want it out of there.
5 minutes gone by in the second overtime period. If we stay scoreless, it will end in yet another tie for the Maroons and the first of the season for the Hornets. Trying to change that now. Good move to the top of the 18, leaves it back for the trailer. That's Tattagui. Now it's Mega booting that away, and it feels like a missed chance possibly for the Maroons. Carey had a good run, and they played it back to slow it down. Carmen. Camilleri has got the only goal of the season for the Maroons. Outside from Alushwa, who was hiding. Header near the net, not enough mustard on it, and an easy catch for Gallagher. Gallagher with his 6th save of the night. And time running out to make a concerted effort for both teams as each one tries to wait for a mistake to be made by the other. Both programs will make changes as well. Saeed Osman will step in for Lynchburg again. Also Till Flegging, freshman from Germany, on your screen, stepping back on the field for Coach Pflugrad and the Maroons. Seth Dale awaiting to throw in. Looking for Mackey. Camilleri could not get to it. Auger connects with Foley. Mackey going down after Gerald did the same thing. Usman takes the ball over. Averett plays it back here for Shalita. Shalita's got a man, and we'll get it over to Daly. Long ball, too high, grazes the top of the net.
Joe, that buildup was fantastic. I mean, they were playing out of pressure. They were hitting feet. They moved the ball. They switched the field. I mean, a lot of things that you ask your teams to do. I mean, they were kind of playing their game there, and it looked great.
Both teams certainly have points they can bring up and show and tape of brilliance. And still some areas to improve on. And of course, both coaches will probably point to, hey, there's no goals on the scoreboard yet. We got to get better at capitalizing, being more efficient with our chances. The Hornets have had 4 shots on goal. Roanoke with 6. Good ball intended for Mega. He's playing that one to get past Carmen, but nothing's getting past Carmen tonight.
No, he's heading everything away and absolutely cannot have that ball get past him.
Especially not to that player.
Nope.
1:42 remaining in what is officially going to be regulation.
Surprised that wasn't a foul.
Chasing this one down. That's Arlenga along the end line. And a corner late in this one for the Maroons. Their 5th of the night. Could be the charm that's needed here. Clock continues to roll to a minute, so we're going to be under a minute.
Yeah, and you're going to take your time and bringing a different guy over to take the kick and take whatever time you can off to play for this last moment.
So Chris Gerald will send it in. 55 seconds remaining in second OT. Roanoke looking for their first win of the season. And it's headed near. Gallagher punched over top. I don't know if he even got to Gallagher first. It may have been deflected initially by Camilleri's head. Made contact with Lamina.
Taking this corner to Roanoke, number 16.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's...
They're going to rush now. They don't have much time. 25 seconds to go.
Looks like a zone.
Gerald again. That time it was towards the 6. This time, again, low driver. Foley makes contact. Rolls out near the 18.
They're going to do their throw.
10 seconds to go.
No, they're not.
Flegging, looking.
6.
Played back to Flegging. Out of play. Ball game.
2. 1-0.
We went the distance tonight. 90 minutes wasn't enough. 20 extra. 110 total minutes played. 24 total shots. 14 for Lynchburg, 10 for Roanoke. 7 saves for Kyle Gallagher in net tonight. Excellent play by the senior. And 4 saves for his counterpart in between the pipes for the Roanoke Maroons, Zach Behe, with 4. Final thoughts from you, Coach Newton. We got to see a pretty balanced game between these two and lots of momentum swings, but in the end, no goals.
Yeah, you had a lot of great opportunities for both teams, like you mentioned, and you're just hoping to kind of put one of those away. And like you said, balls headed off end lines, amazing reaction saves, pretty exciting in terms of those things that ultimately still a tie.
So the Hornets will be back here on Sunday at 4 p.m. on LHSN. We look forward to that time with you when it comes. Our next broadcast is tomorrow night. We will have field hockey taking on Shenandoah at 7 p.m. here under the lights of Schellenberger Field. We'll leave you with some highlights of this scoreless tie from Schellenberger Field in Lynchburg, Virginia. Big shout out to the entire LHSN crew and Coach Newton. Thanks for hopping on
Thanks
today.
for having me on.
Very helpful to have you along for this one. Look forward to many more chances for this in the future. Great night of soccer tonight, but nobody scored. We end with a tie, and we move on to the next thing on all of our schedules. Until next time, I'm Joe Hutzler saying so long from University of Lynchburg. Remember, it's a great day to be a Hornet, and we are one nation.